What's up, ladies, gents, queens, kings, and commentators? It's the one and only You Can't Clone Me Queen, baby. Welcome to my channel, and as always, we are recapping or reviewing a movie or series that must be talked about. And in this video, I am reviewing the movie The Devil You Know. But before we dive in, y'all, please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel below. Okay? Now let's get into it. So I'm going to keep it real because that's what I do. And it saddens me to say this because this movie should have been way better than what it was based off of the cast alone. But it was not good. Granted, it wasn't like terrible, but it was just, very one note and flat. And to be honest, I wanted to end the movie as soon as I figured out the devil, which didn't take 2 hours to figure out. But I was already invested, so I had to see it through, and it left me feeling unfulfilled. Dang it, man. I hate that I have to say that. Like, I hate it. So for the ones that probably haven't seen the film yet, The Devil You Know is about a guy named Marcus, played by Omar Epps, who is basically trying to get back to a normal life and find his way after being in jail for allegedly killing someone. And I say allegedly because in the film we find out that he was in an altercation with the guy and he hit him and the guy, blacked out. But was fine after the fact. But a few weeks later, after their fight, the guy had a brain aneurysm and died. So of course his family blamed Marcus and he went to jail for it. But needless to say, he did his time. He doing better in his life. And he have a family that wants the best for him and the girl child. And that's good, okay? Good, great, wonderful. Now, the twist of things happen when Marcus finds out that one of his brothers, Drew, played by William Catlett, I love him, may have been involved in a terrible crime of this white family that was killed in a burglary. But the child of the family was brutally beaten and was in a coma and eventually woke up out of it and, of course, was all over the news telling his side of the story. But at this point, 3 months has passed and the crime wasn't solved and the cops was nowhere near to finding out who it could have been. Now, the reason Marcus assumed his brother knew something about the crime because it was this book of collectible baseball cards that the boy was talking about on the news that him and his dad had. And the book of cards was in Drew's home. So once that connection was made, it was clear that the cards was the piece of the movie that would tie everything together and connect the dots for this crime. Now, one would think if you don't know all the facts, you may mind your business. But that wasn't the case here because Marcus found out that Drew got the cards from Stacy, played by BJ Brett, who hangs out with this guy named Al, played by Theo Rossi, knowing they both are bad for business and may have gotten his brother caught up in some mess. So he felt like he had to do something to protect his brother. So Marcus decided he should get involved by calling the police and giving them an anonymous tip leading them towards Stacy and Al. And that caused a chain of events that no one saw coming that destroyed the family because Drew's name still ended up being in the case, which led to the dad having a heart attack, the mom keeping secrets, one of the brothers losing their job. It was just a domino effect that happened so unexpectedly, but it definitely added depth to the movie, especially knowing that this black family was loving and held each other down and accountable. Now, there is one person inside of me that says, dang, if only Marcus would have never said anything and let everything play out on its own. That way, his family wouldn't have, been in shambles. But the other person inside of me do feel like he was right because if you know something, say something. The only thing with that is he really didn't know anything and he got himself halfway involved and not fully. And I feel like if you was going to tip the police on the crime, make sure you tip them on everyone, including your brother, because that's who you saw with the stolen item. Don't half-ass snitch. If you're gonna do it, go all the way, which means getting your brother involved. And the fact that he didn't, he should have just never said anything because it backfired on him big time because Drew was more involved than, he led on. Now, as I am telling you guys what went down in the movie, it probably sounds good. Comment, because the writing isn't anything, we haven't seen before. But overall, good. From the plot to the build-up to the solid cast and acting, it was all there. But sadly, the execution was not. The movie was flat. It had no up and down moments, no real big twists, just 2, maybe 3 shocking moments that made me drop my jaw and say, hell no. But other than that, it was nothing. So I basically just watched 2 long hours of nothing. Oh, and that's not even the worst part for me. The worst part happens to be that Michael Ealy, the love of my teenage life, was in the film as the detective on the case, and he barely was in the damn movie. Now, of course, me being upset about it is probably a personal issue, but honestly, it was promoted as if he was a main character, when, to be honest, he barely was a supporting actor. And that's just, my feelings. I think the brothers, Anthony played by Curtis Cook and Terry played by Vaughn, Hebron, should have been promoted more than Michael Ealy, but that's just my personal take. Also, the title being The Devil You Know did not intertwine well with the movie at all. Yes, I get that they was playing on the brotherhood of Marcus and Drew and how one flipped on the other, but the correlation wasn't as connected as it could have been. And on top of that, they had thrown in some Bible verses at the end of the film, but to be honest, it wasn't needed. Hell, the ending was such a mess. I was so fed up, yet happy it was over, but felt so incomplete. Also, towards the end, there was a photo of 4 guys, I am assuming are brothers, on top of the photo of the 4 guys that played brothers in the movie. And I was curious if this movie was a true story or not, based off of those dudes, but I could not find any information to back that theory up. So if you know, let me know in the comments. So now, I'm really confused as to why the photo was even there with no context. Overall, I give this movie a 2.5 out of 5. And that's mainly because the cast and their acting was on point. And to be honest, they deserve so much more. I just wish we can take the cast and give them a better script and story that will be mind-blowing, because this was not it at all. And I'm so disappointed to say this, because they all deserve better, because hell, they are all better than whatever this was. But with that being said, you already know what it is and how it goes down over here. Like this video and show your girl some love. Comment your thoughts and let's discuss what you thought of this movie and what you rated. And last but certainly not least, subscribe and join the Queen, baby. Bye.